What is up, SmackNPie? SmackNPie here, and welcome to The Medium, the next-gen horror game. The first next-gen Xbox game is here, and it's been 2 days since the game dropped. I know I was hyping this game up so much, I should have been here early. However, I have a bad news to share. I recorded like 1 hour and 40 minutes of gameplay and it got corrupted, so I can't show you the gameplay let's play of what I did. However, I came up with a different idea. So instead of doing a let's play part 1, we are going to do a story recap of where I am in the game. Part 1 story summary of the game, Medium. I'll walk you through what's going on with this game and its story, so you know what, without wasting any more time, let's just dive straight into it.
It all starts with a dead girl.
The game starts with this cutscene. It is a really important cutscene that will be an important element in terms of story for our main protagonist and the characters that our main protagonist will meet, as you can see on your screen. This is how it starts, literally, both the story and the game itself. Take a look. So as you guys saw, a girl in the woods got shot by a man after she was getting chased, and quickly after, the game transitioned to our main protagonist, the one that we will play as, none other than Marianne. Marianne is such an interesting character, and we will talk about her as we move forward. However, the game starts with her narrating of her having this dream that she feels like it is almost a reality at this point.
It always felt so real. The blood on my cheek, the cold sweat running down my skin. I'd managed to convince myself it really happened. This scar of a memory. A part of me I could never fully understand. Well, that wasn't the only part. No wonder people used to think I was strange. If they only knew.
And not only that, this dream that we saw and the dream that she's talking about, she's been having those dreams when she was a little girl. Now this is where obviously the game is slowly revealing and slowly uncovering the story, the whole big plot of this game. So basically, Marianne has this condition, has this unique psychic powers and abilities where she can communicate with the dead. Now obviously we're gonna dive deep into that power and how it works later, but this is how they lay the groundwork and the plot of this game and story, The Medium. Then the game quickly transitions into the current day that you will get to play as Marianne. The day where Marianne has to prepare Jack, her foster father, for his last journey and basically say goodbye.
To dress him up for his last journey. Put him in a suit, fix his tie. Simple. Just the things he did every day. But looking through his stuff wasn't easy. I needed a moment to pull myself together.
There are small details that the game reveals slowly, such as Jack, the foster father of Marianne, ran his own funeral home, and Marianne would help him out every chance she could get. Also, the game doesn't technically say what was the cause of Jack's death, aka Marianne's foster father, this early of the story. However, if you explore around, you can find that in the calendar, Jack had a date for November that said surgery, which we will touch on later as well. The game then gives you the control of Marianne. You can play around, explore as Marianne narrates about herself, her foster father Jack, her feelings and her thoughts throughout, as the game also shows off the ray tracing and incredible work that the team Bloober has done. They also made other games like Layers of Fear and Observer. Make sure to check them out if you're a horror fan. I'm pretty sure you already have. You can also go into her old room that she used to stay in, because like I said, she used to live upstairs of the funeral home area. And here we learned pretty interesting thought, and here I am also gonna criticize this game's story. In one of the pictures you can see the orphan kids.
That's why I kept coming back. To play. To take care of them. To listen. That was the least I could do. Spirits. There was a time I'd try to run from them, to ignore their calls. Matthew was the first one I helped pass on.
And one of them specifically was the first kid that Marianne helped moved on. Now what's going on here? Basically, ladies and gentlemen, Marianne is a medium between real living world and the spirit world. From the childhood, she had this power to communicate with the dead. This kid right here, Matthew, was the first one. Marianne helped, moved on, and from there on out, to this day, she's still continuing the mission. Now obviously, it would have been far more impactful if the game had started with us controlling little Marianne, helping Matthew here, then transitioning quickly to her holding this picture, zooming out, and then you're like, okay, you got first ever experience of medium, both Marianne and player, because we're new to this whole experience and concept, and now the story is thrown at you that your foster father has passed away and you have to dress him for his last goodbye. I think that would have been far more impactful. It would have also helped introduce some new mechanics early on, but you know what? That is a little small pickups that I'm doing. It doesn't really matter that much, but I feel like I wanted to say that, so here we are. One of the other things obviously is that she's been doing this as a kid. In the real world, when someone has these kind of powers, they would show off to other kids, and that is exactly what Marianne would go around and do. So that was a pretty funny moment. Not funny, well, I'll take that back.
Wasn't too amused, but he did his best to cover for me. I kind of feel bad for making him go through all that. My oldest family heirloom. As a kid, I'd show this to people just to freak them out. I'd usually say something like, "Pretty sick, huh?" I was such a dork.
The game has this Silent Hill type fixed cameras. Obviously, I forgot to mention that game is heavily inspired by Silent Hill. Many of the plots are actually taken from Silent Hill. You can clearly see the resemblance here. I'm not saying they blatantly copied, but like the inspiration is definitely there with the fixed cameras, and the story itself, it'll get even more easier once we get to the other missions. But I just wanted to point that out. They even brought back the original composer of Silent Hill for this game, and he killed it with the soundtrack. Fantastic. I'm hooked up, really cool, and I'm telling you, playing this on Xbox Series X with ray tracing and whatnot, it feels fantastic. Now obviously, the date that you're playing is 5th November 1999, which can be learned if you explore a little bit. Then once you get the tie done, it is time for you to go and fix up the tie and say your final goodbyes to your foster father, Jack. And whilst you're going there, obviously, Marianne narrates and talks about her feeling, which I think is fantastic. Every few minutes later, she is still filling in the gaps very slowly, and can I just say, the voice actress of the Marianne killed it, absolutely nailed it. She is fantastic, well done, super in character.
Jack taught me to accept my condition. Of all my foster parents, he was the only one who saw it as a gift and not a curse.
Here also, Marianne talks about her condition, her superpower. Now, none of us knows what happened, how she got her powers, which is going to get interesting once we get closer to the second act of this game. The first act is basically you saying your final goodbye and basically learning about Marianne as a character, her past, and whatever, and Jack as well. But other than those two characters, you don't learn about anyone else, specifically the parents of Marianne. It is completely completely dead silent in this early part of the story. I'm pretty sure they'll reveal more once we get to the ending, but these are the early points I wanted to mention for quickly. Then we get to the prep room, courtesy of getting key from Jack's office, and here you'll get heavy Until Dawn vibes if you have played it, of course.
Not sure if I'm ready for this.
You finally see the body, you finally put the tie clip, combine it together, Resident Evil style, and this is where the acting of the voice actress of Marianne shines through as she delivers this emotional performance here.
I didn't expect this to be easy. I guess I didn't know what to expect. When things get personal, it just burns you from the inside out. There. I guess you're ready. But am I? Oh, can't you people read? The sign says closed.
Yep, and her being in this emotional state finally triggers the first major event of the Medium game and its story. The sounds that are coming actually from Jack's office, and here you can encounter the beginning of the jump scare that will follow throughout this entire game. They're not quite cheap jump scare, I actually found them quite intimidating, and they really hit the point with the jump scares, so I actually really like that. Then you get into Jack's office, and here you encounter the first dual reality, dual world experience, and I feel like you should see for yourself.
What the hell? Guess you felt it too, huh? And then it happened. As it did so many times before. Just when I thought my day couldn't get any worse.
Oh, where is that darn notebook? I'm gonna be late. I need to find that. Marianne? Oh, Marianne, are you crying, my child?
It's fine, Jack.
Now, you didn't happen to see my notebook, did you, darling? My memory's a bit fuzzy. So much for aging gracefully, eh? Where is that thing?
Listen, Jack. You should probably get some rest. Forget the notebook.
Oh, no. I've got so much work, my dear.
It's okay,
I know,
Jack.
I can't just... What?
Let it go. It's not important.
You are crying. What's wrong, dear? Oh, why is it so cold in here? Child, where is that damn notebook?
It's okay, Jack. It's okay.
My sweet little Marianne. What would I ever do without you?
Jack. Don't worry about it. It's time to get some rest.
Oh, Marianne.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm worried about the surgery. When I'm at the hospital, are you sure you're going to be all right?
Yes, Jack. gonna be fine.
You know, I promised myself once I would never let anything happen to you. Not while I'm around.
I'll be fine. I promise.
No risky stuff then. Huh? All right?
All right, Jack. Now, get some rest.
I need no. Yes. Be good, Marianne. I love you, my child. I've loved you since the moment you walked into my life. Remember that. Always.
Most people would give anything to have that opportunity. To say all the things that were left unsaid. But it didn't make things any easier. I could help 1,000 souls cross over, but when it came to Jack, it still hurt like hell. I love you too, Daddy. I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. Divided. Torn between two realities. But no. I was the only one. Or so I thought. We're closed. There's another funeral home across town. I can give you the number.
Marianne.
Who is this?
You don't know me, Marianne, but I know you.
Look, if this is a joke...
You need to listen to me, Marianne.
Okay, I'm hanging up.
I know what you are.
What? Who is this?
My name is Thomas. I need your help.
Listen, if that's all you've got, I'm...
No, there's more. I can give you the answers you've been looking for your whole life. But I need you to trust me.
Trust you? I don't even know you.
It all starts with a dead girl.
What did you say?
The Neva Resort. Find me there. Please. The light, it's almost gone. It's not dark yet, but it's getting there. You're the only one who can stop it. You're my only chance.
Hello? Hello? Shit.
So a lot just happened, so before we move on, let's just recap what exactly happened there. In the dual world, specifically the spirit world, which is the other world from in spite of the living world, the people who are dead wear this mask because they are dead, but they haven't technically moved on to the afterlife. This is where the medium, aka Marianne, comes into play. Marianne helps those spirits that are stuck in the spirit world, which is between the living world and the afterlife, and she helps them move on. And this is what happened there. This was obviously hard for her because it was her foster father, number one, and number two, it actually is emotionally draining for her, and physically as well, and mentally, so all those factors played in that. And just as she was having a moment for herself, a mysterious person called out of nowhere, a guy named Thomas, who claims to know the origins of Marianne's power. Her entire life she wanted to know why she was chosen to have these powers. Why does she have these powers, and where did these powers come from? At first, even I thought that she was the only one. No, she's not the only one. There are actually more. She's one of them. And now all of us are anxious to see where it came from and if we can meet other people who have powers. And now we will go to the Neva Hotel, which brings our second act, aka the real game actually starts there, and it is actually a really long part, but I'm gonna leave this video here. This was the medium gameplay story recap / summary. I wanted to do this style of video because I lost my gameplay. I'll put the channel link in the description because I used the gameplay from them. It sucks that I couldn't show you my gameplay. It got corrupted. It like almost 2 hours. But if you guys enjoyed this style, this template of me doing videos of certain games instead of Let's Play, do let me know. But this was part 1. We'll see how the reception is, and based on that either we'll make part 2, ending, or a complete story explanation. But I will leave you here with this one. Do let me know what do you think about the story so far. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SmackNPie. Subscribe to 50k, and I'll see you in the next one.